Well, howdy, my name's Colin Rosser. I'm the president of Old Army Roofing. I hope here in the next few minutes you'll hear from all of us and you will realize that we are the #1 option when it comes to roofing the Raiders Training Center. As you hear from me on the business side, Graham on the estimate, Mr. Kyler Hardison on the QA/QC, and also David on the safety, I hope we proved that to you as well. And with that, let's begin. So if you just look at us at a glance, I think you'll quickly find that we are the answer to commercial roofing. We certainly believe that ourselves. We were founded in 1969 by Mr. Bob Segner, shortly after he returned from the Vietnam War. We have a core value of safety also here at Old Army Roofing. We also believe in giving back to the community through various organizations and charity groups. And we just recently finished 50 years a few years ago, and we're looking forward to another 50 years of business. Miss Ann McGowan is our current owner. She's been the owner since 1994. She was the daughter of Mr. Segner, and she inherited the business from her. She is a safety expert, and she has also an impressive list of achievements. She's really the reason we've exploded to the success we've had today. She's also built an extensive culture of safety here at Old Army Roofing too. Like I said, my name is Colin Rosser. I've been the president and CEO since 2005. I run day-to-day operations in place of Miss Ann McGowan. In my educational background, I have a Master's of Business Administration from New York University, Master's of Financial Management from Texas A&M University, and also a Bachelor of Construction Science from Texas A&M University before that. And with that, I'd like the rest of the crew for this project to introduce themselves.
Howdy, I'm Graham Eldridge. I am the estimator for Old Army.
Howdy, I'm David Herman. I'm the safety director for Old Army Roofing.
Howdy, I'm Kyler Hardison, Quality Assurance Inspector.
And on behalf of Mr. Bryce Snyderwin, howdy. He is our construction superintendent. He's actually on the job site right now, and you will get to meet him at a later date, hopefully. So I think in order to understand how your project is going to turn out, it's best to understand how your job site is going to turn out. And for that, we think it's important to understand how our company is going to run. So who we are is beyond just our name. Clearly, we are Old Army Roofing. Our identity comes from building long-term client relationships. We understand that as soon as we're done with your roof, and we're not really done, we have maintenance agreements, and for the next 25 years that roof is on top of your building, we want to be in cahoots with you and make sure that everything is run, especially if there is prospective work in the future. We also identify ourselves on the quality of the individual we place on the job site. This is something we're really proud of. So what we do is we build TPO, PVC, and metal roofs, offer pre-construction services, and warranty and maintenance work. How we do it is we bring in a holistic approach to the job site, making sure they're not only looking out for ourselves, but the job site as a whole. And also, we like to call ourselves general contractor friendly because of this. We also employ lean manufacturing principles, both our job sites and our business side, making us maximize efficiency and minimize waste within all aspects of our company. So a few organizations that we're really proud to be a part of: the National Association of Women in Construction. As you had noticed, that Miss Ann McGowan is our owner. That makes us a hub. This is something we're really proud of. Another one that we're big into is the Construction Career Collaborative, which I'll touch on a little bit more in a second. And also, being a member of the NRCA, we have a great relationship with them. So our reach, as you noticed, we had started in Texas. Now this is where the construction career comes into play, as it was started in Houston, and so we have access to them, and it allows us to build our employment base based off of high quality individuals who are trained in safety and all aspects regarding the job site. We have taken those principles we have learned through the construction collaborative, we've taken that westward as we have grown. As you can see, there are many companies that we have worked with. Most of our client base is based within Texas, and a few percentage of it is outside Texas. We're looking to grow that. We also have 100% Southwest presence. A few job sites that we're really proud of that we think are similar to the job site we're proposing to you today is the Ford Center Star in Frisco. This was a little over 200,000 square feet of 115 mil reinforced fleece back PVC membrane, and just shy of 90,000 square feet of 60 mil TPO membrane for the lower mixed use area. We had 0 reportable instances as well. Another project we are very proud of is the AT&T Stadium. This is our largest project to date. This has 660,000 square square feet of PVC membrane. It was completed in 4 months with 4 crews of 15 men. And we've had 0 accidents on this job site, 0 accidents on this job site since. This is something we're also very proud of. And with that, I would like to turn it over to Graham so you can hear about the estimate.
Alrighty, so on your screen, you can see how we broke down the bid for this project. We have it done in each building. We have the office building, performance center, maintenance building, and you have the ricochet and miscellaneous roofs off the office. Our roofing assembly consists of a dual layer of 2.6-inch polyiso insulation, and that will help us attain the R30 value as stipulated in the contract documents. On top of that, we have a 5/8-inch cover board, and then on top of that, we have mechanically fastened milled PVC membrane. Our bid total includes the freight and loading of materials, as well as 20-year manufacturer's warranty through Sarnfield, and an additional 2-year material and labor warranty through Old Army Roofing. So for this project, we were not given a master schedule to fit in, so we designed our own based off of our past productivity rates for similar sized projects. And then on this next page, we'll break it down a little bit further for you as it's easier to see. So in all, we anticipate this project taking approximately 65 days, with 35 days of that being actual installation of roofing material. And so we've broken that down further into different phases, as we can see on this one. Phase 1, we will start on the performance center, and then we will move towards the office building, and then the maintenance building at the rear, and then move on towards phase 4, which is the porte-cochere and the miscellaneous roofing. We did it in this order as we moved from the largest roofing areas to the smallest roofing areas, square footage, and then also in phase 4, we are required to use scaffolding as the job site is ladder-free and there's no immediate access points for those. So we want to spend significant more attention on making sure our crews are safe with their tools and our methods in those smaller roofing areas. We also included 3 voluntary alternates with our bid. Our first alternate, we propose that we provide, supply, and install the mechanical screens in the performance center and the office building. This would allow us to maintain the integrity of the roofing systems that we've just installed, and if there are any punctures or issues on site, patch those as they happen, and we do not have to remobilize or deal with any warranty as that is still covered as we are finishing the roofing. Our second voluntary alternate is we realize that as this job is located in Southern Nevada, it is primed for solar panels, which would be great for LEED accreditation if that is something we wish to pursue, or just raise awareness of the project's environmentally friendliness. And so we would provide the flashing and sealing of all solar penetrations on the roof, either that on the performance center or the maintenance building. We believe those both would be prime locations, but we would need structural engineer input on location to provide penetrations, and we would simply flash it and seal it. And that way we would maintain the integrity of the warranty and the roofing system, even if you did not wish to install solar panels at the time of construction and could go back at a later date and install those while maintaining the warranty of the roof. Then our third alternate is we would like to submit that we could replace the 80 mil mechanically fastened roofing system with a 60 mil self-adhered membrane. And so that would allow us to speed up the installation process by 13 days potentially from installation, and offering over $17,000 in labor savings from those 13 same days. And so I have a sample of that membrane right here if you'd like to see how we're going to do that. So for this example, the sheet of paper will be the cover board, and we will lay our self-adhered membrane on top of it. We will peel back the membrane, remove the adhesive backer, and then we will be able to fully lay the membrane on top of our cover board, and we're able to back out the rest of the backing while we roll and fully adhere the membrane, providing for a solid contact, and that provides just as well uplift ratings as mechanically fastened membrane. And so now I'm going to pass it off to Kyler to talk about QA/QC.
Here at Old Army Roofing, we like to be proactive. We do this through 2 main ways. our training program, and coordinating with other contractors on the job site. First, with our training, we have a mock-up. We make sure our employees stay practiced on their trade. We make sure they take respect in their work. We really push for merit-based promotions to, again, promote craftsmanship among our employees. I'm an NRCA quality assessor, and we adhere to the NRCA certification and training program. And we have a third-party NRCA quality assessor come in to actually verify that our guys are up to standards. And then coordinating with other subcontractors, we want to be there when they make a penetration. We want to limit access to the roof. We're going to have a login sheet at the roof to keep a record of who's going up there and try to limit just people walking through. We're going to have working mats in high traffic areas to help protect the roof, prevent accidental penetrations. And then once we finish the roofing area, as seen in the earlier phasing document, we'd like to do a walkthrough with the general contractor or an architect's representative, touch on some of these key points. This is a sample template we used from a past project. Just hits on the major issues, make sure everyone's on the same page and good to go and proceed to the next roofing area. I'd like to turn it over to David for safety.
Howdy, with Old Army Roofing with safety being our culture, we like to uphold that all of our staff has a 10-hour OSHA or greater. We want to ensure that all of our staff makes it home the way they came to the job site that day. We uphold the current safety manual. As it gets updated, we update our system. We are roofing workers with fall protection, with harnesses, tie-offs, and everything else to prevent fall hazards. We have weekly meetings and daily toolbox talks. This can be from hydration to recovering yourself from a fall or how we're going to operate on a day-to-day basis. This keeps everyone on the same page to look out for hazards and make sure everyone's liable for the same issues that could happen on the job site. We do daily equipment checks. Everyone's responsible for themselves and others. Everyone has one set of eyes, and you might not catch something someone else might. You want to bring it up before something happens. We have bi-weekly refresher trainings for fall protection and recovery. This ensures that all of our employees, if something was to happen, they know how to act quick enough to get the situation resolved. Our safety representatives will be on site daily. We do have 2 of them, and both of them are bilingual. This ensures that all of our employees can get the safety and understand it fully. With COVID going on, we wanted to make sure that we had 2 on the job site. They will interchange on days. That way, if someone is in contact with COVID, we have someone that is bilingual on the job site every day. Our fall protection plan, we have tool control programs that includes the logs for accountability for our employees. This ensures that what goes up on the job site will come back down. We don't want to leave something up there that could potentially fall and hit someone on the way down, or we don't want to leave something that could damage the roof. We have a buddy system in place. This allows us to have yourself check your system and someone else check it for you. That way, if you miss something that you do on a basis, someone else can catch it if something's happening. All tools must be tied off on the structure or yourself when we have no parapet wall. With this, we ensure that nothing's falling off the roof and everything comes down safely. With a culture of safety, we have rewards that if you find something that could be a hazard and you bring it up in a safety meeting or a near miss, we will reward that. This ensures that all employees are on the lookout and everyone's responsible for themselves and others. We want to make sure everyone goes home safe and the way they came on the job site. We don't want anything to happen where you're ending up in the hospital or even worse. Safety is seen as a positive manner on our job site, and we want to keep it that way. If you aren't happy to be on the job site, something could go wrong, you're going to miss something. We want to make sure that you're rewarded and you're being vigilant on what's happening on the job site every day. We have a QR code that every employee will have on their hard hat. You can scan to make sure they're up to date on certifications and when their training is needed. This helps us keep track of what they'll need month to month or week to week, or if they missed the training. With that, I'm going to pass it back.
Thank you, David. Earlier, I had stated that we believe that we are the #1 option for this roof and all roofing jobs. I hope that we've shown that to you through me explaining the business organization, David going over our estimate, Tyler on our quality assurance and quality control plan, and also David on our safety plan. We hope that you have actually bought into that too, just as our employees buy into the Old Army way. We want you to as well. And we also hope to see you at the pre-construction meeting in Las Vegas and meet you all in person. With that, I'd like to turn the rest of the time over to questions.
Great presentation, gentlemen. Very well done and well thought out. So at this time, what I'd like to do is introduce to you the judges who will be asking you questions. And I'll start out with Mr. John Gary, who's the Chief Marketing Officer for Nations Roof. John has a wide range of experience, having worked for roofing contractors, distributors, and manufacturers during his roofing career. He's been active in multiple roofing organizations to include NRCA and the Roofing Alliance. John is an enthusiastic advocate for continuous improvement in the roofing industry and shows this by his participation as a speaker and a contributor to many roofing industry events and publications. So thank you, John, for being a part of the panel of judges. Our next judge is Ms. Helene Hardy-Pierce. She's Vice President of Technical Services for Codes and Industry Relations for GAF. Helene is a recipient of two of the roofing industry's most prestigious awards. That is the NRCA J.A. Piper Award and ASTM's William C. Cullen Award. This comes from her long-term commitment and dedication to the roofing industry over her entire career. Helene continues to be active in roofing organizations, working on committees, speaking at events, publishing information, all of which provide knowledgeable insight into the technical aspect of roofing. Thank you, Helene, for being a part of our panel of judges. Our next judge is Mr. Scott Kowalik. He's Vice President of B&M Roofing, located in Frederick, Colorado. Scott is a third-generation roofing contractor who grew up in and around the roofing business. His father and grandfather were both active within the industry and as business owners and as leaders in our industry. Simply put, Scott knows and understands all aspects of the roofing industry. He has served on the Roofing Alliance Board of Trustees, NRCA's Executive Committee, and has served as president of the National Roofing Legal Resource Center. Scott continues to be involved in state, regional, and national roofing organizations, putting forth his vast knowledge of roofing. Thank you, Scott, also for being a part of our panel of judges. Our next judge is Mr. John Mcgarry. That's not John Gary. We have a John Mcgarry also. He's Chief Operating Officer for the Commercial Roofers, Inc., located in Las Vegas, Nevada. John holds both an MBA and a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering with a minor in mathematics. John's also very much involved in many industry organizations, too many to mention. The other interesting thing about John and his company, Commercial Roofers, is they are the roofing company that actually installed the PVC roof on the Raiders practice facility. And his company is the one that got us permission to use this project for this competition. So thank you, John, for allowing us to get permission to use this project for the competition, but also for being a part of the panel of judges. Our next judge is Mr. Dudley Miles. He currently serves as chairman of the board of J.D. Miles and Sons and also Miles Roofing. Dudley grew up in the roofing business, but followed his first passion of teaching and coaching before coming into the roofing industry full-time. Dudley's a past president of the National Roofing Contractors Association and is also a recipient of the roofing industry prestigious J.A. Piper Award. The list of accomplishments and achievements that have been bestowed on Dudley are more in number than we have time to even list right now. Needless to say, Dudley is and has been a dedicated servant to the roofing industry. So thank you, Dudley, for also being a part of our panel of judges. Our next judge is Mr. Chris Ogg. He is West North Regional Sales Manager for Sika Sarnafil Roofing. Chris has been employed by Sika for the last 25 years and has been involved in the technical aspects of the roofing systems, as well as being district and now regional sales manager for Sika Sarnafil. Chris's territory includes Nevada, California, Oregon, Washington, Hawaii, Alaska, all the places that I'd like to go visit. As you may have figured out by now, Chris is familiar with the Raiders practice facility by his involvement by providing the roofing system which was installed. Thank you, Chris, also for being a part of our panel of judges. Our next judge is Mr. Bob Pringle. He's Vice President of Evans Roofing Company in Elmira, New York. Bob is an industrial engineer graduate working in the roofing industry to provide quality and safety to his company as well as to our industry. Bob has proudly served on many roofing industry boards and includes the National Roofing Contractors Association. Bob's daily responsibilities at his home location include oversight of sales and marketing, along with oversight of environmental health and safety issues. Issues that include protecting our workers, as well as our client and our environment. So thank you also, Bob, for being a part of this panel of judges. And our next judge is Mr. John Yoko, Senior Vice President of Operations of GSM Roofing. John has the unique advantage of working in the manufacturing industry at the beginning of his career. John has a BS in mechanical engineering and also holds a master's degree in organizational management. When John started his career with GSM, he put forward the goal to continue their tradition of quality, safety, and service, and has succeeded at that goal. John also is involved in many roofing industry organizations, giving forth his time for our industry as a whole. So thank you also, John, for being a part of this panel of judges, a very distinct group of people. So guys, I'm going to now turn it over to Mr. John Mcgarry, who will start the questioning, and then we'll go from there. I'm gonna mute myself out so that y'all can not see me, and good luck with everything.
Thank you, Alan. And to Old Army Roofing, really nice job. The challenges of trying to put all this information together in a viable presentation, you performed admirably. So congratulations to you for that. And thank you for some of the innovations that you'd mentioned in your presentation as well. I know there are challenges with doing this and not having any feedback. And we've got all these people watching you on video. That's a challenge, and you've performed very well. Here's my very simple question. How are you going to get on the roof, or the roofs, excuse me?
If you like to make this.
With the first 3 phases, we were planning on using the roof hatches, and we were using the sky tracks to get the material up on top of the roof. We were going to use scaffolding for the 4th phase. With this, we were going to locate all of our safety on that and minimize any hazards that could happen without a parapet wall.
Great. The scope of work and no indicated that it was a job. Helene?
Okay, thanks a lot, John. Gentlemen,
Thank you. Excellent.
just well done. Okay. I have a really simple question, but it really becomes very important when you think about looking out into the future. And so when we think of Old Army Roofing, my question is, how does Old Army Roofing follow up with the building owners, right? In this case, you know, the Raiders Training Center building owners, after completing a new roof, to help them plan for routine inspection and maintenance of their roof, just like we would expect routine care and feeding, you know, maintenance of an automobile. So, you know, what services do you offer, or do you plan upon offering your building owners?
So we'll coordinate with them around their schedule, see what kind of inspection they're interested in. And then again, local weather conditions, if there is a major weather event, we'll go out there and check it afterwards. And then we're elite level applicators with Sitka Sarnafil, so we're all on the up and up with them, and they'll have that 20-year warranty as well through Sitka Sarnafil. So we want to work best to fit their schedule. So whatever they deem would be best for them, we'll be glad to sit down and talk about it.
That was great, Kyle. That was great. You can take a sigh of relief. You hit that one out of the park. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Scott Kowalik. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Helene. I have a question about the roof system itself. We relied on a design team and an owner's rep firm to help us put this project together. We were curious if you could help us understand a little bit about the pros and the cons of this PVC roof that's been specified. I mean, you've given us some really intriguing VE options for us to look at. We also know you have experience with metal roofing and TPO. And so we're curious if you could help us understand a little bit about this particular system as it relates to maybe some other systems, or the way that it's attached versus other systems that might be attached to the structure in a different way.
Absolutely. So the 80 mil membrane that was specified is fantastic. We've had hardly any issues with it. Only time we ever really need to replace anything is if there's a puncture from a sharp object or an extremely severe weather incident. And so it holds up very well to all weather conditions. And the reason we supplied the alternate with the 60 mil self-adhered was in the specification document. It that they were on a very tight schedule and we're trying to accelerate it as much as possible. And so that is one of the main motivating factors of why we provided the voluntary alternate of the self-adhered membrane to cut the 13 days off of our schedule. So that way we can accelerate interior finish out and make sure y'all are finishing the project on schedule.
Okay, thank you. Well done. John Mcgarry, do you have a question for the Old Army?
Yes, first of all, very nice presentation. You obviously put a lot of thought and hard work into it, so congratulations to you all. So in Las Vegas, not only are known for our warm temperatures, we are known for high winds, particularly during the springtime. So every day you can't work due to high winds means you have to make that up in lost production in the schedule, because as you know, the schedule drives billings, billings drives collections. How do you plan to adjust for non-productive wind days and still be able to meet the production schedule?
So we designed our schedule around 5 crews of 7 men each. And so we started on the larger roofs and began working towards the smaller roofs in our phase development. And so we anticipate with that, we become more familiar with the roof and we become faster with the application on each phase. And that way we become more familiar with it, and that way we are saving time in our application, even though we might lose time due to high winds, even though it is more of a summer duration as opposed to the springtime high winds that you mentioned. But there are, that is our primary objective in doing that.
Excellent answer. You're going to get educated as the project goes along, and you're going to use that to help with any hiccups along the way. So very good answer. With that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Chris Ogg. Chris, do you have any questions?
Morning, gentlemen. Excellent job on your presentation. I was very impressed. Again, one of the topics I'm going to bring up today is basically putting things square. So one of the most important parts of a successful roof installation to this is quality control and the welded seams and the induction welded plates holding the membrane securely. So my question to you is, what steps have you taken as a company to ensure that all the membrane welding equipment is working properly, as well as being calibrated, and how are you testing your seams and your induction welding plates in the field, and to make sure they're adhered properly?
So we like to inspect all of our tools before we even go out on the job site. As far as seams specifically, there's a tool you can use to stick it down in the seam to check it. But again, we really like to be proactive. So a lot of that ties into our training to make sure all of our guys know what they're doing and can get it down. And we test them at our facilities, again, with the merit-based promotion system, to make sure they're on it ahead of time to get it right out in the field. Yes, we're going to check it in the field, but we like to prevent those problems from happening to begin with.
Excellent. Good answer. I appreciate that. All right, Bob, you're up next.
All right. Thanks, Chris. Hey, guys, this is a safety question for your team. First off, congratulations for getting into the Final Four. excellent presentation. I enjoyed your written as well as your oral presentation. So hats off to your team. On safety, I've noticed on your documentation, you have a impressive experience modification rating. Of course, we all know, everybody on this meeting, that experience modification ratings are based on history and good safety performance. I didn't know that you talked an awful lot about the teams that are on your rooftops, but can you talk a little bit about your ownership and top management? Because we all know they need to lead by example. Obviously, in our business, they need to be out there on a job site. They need to be out there promoting safety. But can you give a little bit more in detail what your top management does to lead by example, to make sure everyone on the rooftops know that safety is never compromised and never sacrificed for the sake of profit?
Yes, sir. For our business, we require everyone in the office and field to uphold the 10-hour OSHA or more. And they have to follow the same online training and in-person training as everyone in the field. This way, if they do get out in the field to visit a project, they know what they're looking for and everyone else is on the same page. We don't want anyone out there that doesn't know what they're doing because they just cause a hazard for everybody else.
So hypothetically, one of the owners comes up or top management comes up and they're not doing safety the way they've been taught to do safety, who disciplines this person?
The safety director will have a conversation with them. They'll be asked to leave the project and update their certifications and retake the course.
Okay, thank you for your answers. Again, great job. Back to you, John.
All right, gentlemen, we are at that point where you can now take a breath and relax. Great job, as everyone has said. You did very good on your presentation and answers. It was very good. We really appreciate your time. And we know it takes a lot of time and you had to do a lot of research for this. So job well done. So with that, I'm going to let you go. We will wish you the luck. Good luck. Best of luck for the final judging after that. So thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all for the opportunity.